Welcome to the Blueprint Tour, where we visit industry experts from all corners of the construction industry to overcome trust hurdles and build community. I'm Kenny Shultz, and this Season 3 episode was recorded live at the 2024 CREI Summit in Atlanta. If you're interested in using digital tools like social media, podcasting, email, and AI to drive your business development and real estate, you don't want to miss the 2025 CREI Summit happening in the beautiful Palm Desert, California. Now, let's get into today's conversation.
We got Lonnie in the house, the legend from TreppWire Podcast, the Texas legend. Oh, man. I'm Kenny with Carter. We're from PermaZip. We do MEP engineering for small projects. Check out the website, permazip.com. Get a price in seconds. And we're going to learn about distress, different statuses of loans, things that I was listening to on your podcast and learning about. Give us an introduction. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so thanks. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. Lonnie Hendry. I'm Chief Product Officer at Trepp. We're a data modeling analytics firm. We track commercial real estate, CMBS and CLO markets. Also co-host of our TreppWire Podcast. So we're about 275 episodes in, 1.5 million listens.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man. We started March of 2020. We haven't missed a week since. So it comes out every Thursday night. It's legit like number one thing on our list every week to get done, and so we love it.
You're here, like you were saying, you're editing now. You're like, yeah, trying to get it, crank that thing out.
Oh yeah, I mean, like
feed the beast.
Yeah, I carry an office in my backpack. It's a joke, but I have my external mic. I have an external webcam. I got the 3 little bolt-on monitors.
Yeah, good
to go. Like I've recorded anywhere and everywhere.
That's what I need to get, man. The little wings.
Yeah, man. It's legit. Like it makes it where I'm just as productive on the road as I would be at home. It's a little bit of an investment, obviously, but worthwhile.
How much do you get on the road? You know?
Oh, I'm on the road. Like right now, I've been on the road probably 6 of the last 8 weeks and on the road 6 of the next 8 weeks. And so I have a running joke on our podcast that my address is American Airlines row 12 seat C.
Yeah. So you record these episodes while you're out, I guess. How do you record them? Is it virtual?
Yeah, so we just do it. It's funny. We have 275 episodes. We've actually only recorded 2 episodes with everyone in the same room.
Really?
Every other time has been bespoke, where we've been different locations and just do it online.
Yeah, like Riverside, or some people use Zoom. Different people use, pretty cool apps out there nowadays. So yeah, background on us: we're engineers, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, engineering consulting firm, and we started the podcast trying to explore what we don't know. It's a very siloed industry and very disconnected from destroying deals because of what we specify being too expensive, and got me thinking maybe we should explore a little bit more how the actual deals work in finance, and here we are with somebody who's an expert in it. So how did you get involved with Trepp?
So I've been in the commercial real estate space about 23 years at this point. Started off in multifamily property management, worked for some local developers, bought land, got the land and title, built apartments, we leased them up, sold them, moved on to the next project. Then I spent about 14 years in the valuation space, where I was actually a client of Trepp's, and I was that guy that was like, hey, this tool that you have is amazing. It'd be even better if we could do this and this and this. And they had an opportunity open up and said, hey, why don't you come over here and help us make this better? I said, yeah, let's do it. So I've been here just over 5 years and love it. It's the best place I've ever worked, and has a really great spot in the industry. Like we provide a lot of valuable data that helps people make more money, make themselves more efficient, more relevant. It's been really, really great.
Yeah, we were just chatting.
Shlomo. Yeah.
That was a great conversation as well, talking about how there's like a difficult due diligence on this, like the bondholder side, and how you can get access to this information. I guess is where you guys come in and you aggregate the data and help people understand what's bundled up in some sort of security of a bunch of notes or something.
Yeah. So basically in the early 90s, they created this security instrument called CMBS, commercial mortgage-backed security, which effectively is a pool of underlying loans that gets bundled up into a security and sold on the secondary mortgage market. Bond traders then want to trade those bonds based on perceived risk, opportunity, cash flow, etc. Trepp was actually written into the reporting structure when that first kicked off. And so we actually are a direct recipient of all the data that backs the bond, which is comprised of 60 to 100 property loans. And so we get monthly updated payment history data. We get servicer commentary information, and then we have quarterly updated financials from the borrower to the lender directly to Trepp. So we have super granular very difficult to find in the market information. And then over the last, call it decade plus, we've built really deep analytics, sophisticated models and other things on top of the underlying data.
Yeah, we were just talking AI with Topher, and I brought you guys up. I was like, I bet the folks at Trepp are messing around with some large language models and doing some cool stuff with that data. You can't not.
Yeah, we have a pretty large allocation on a percentage basis to Gen AI stuff right now. I think the future of AI is now, and commercial real estate by definition has been somewhat archaic and very relationship driven. And I think the narrative is changing now. It's much more real time. There's a lot more transparency. There's a lot more requirement from the marketplace for people to be leveraging new technology, creating efficiencies and economy of scale and those things. And if you're not pushing towards that, you're getting left behind by definition at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're just learning how to get better prompts if you're just going straight ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard, but the story I told him is I gave ChatGPT a picture of my sludged up radiator and asked it to troubleshoot it, and it told me what was wrong. I had 4 gearheads that I asked independently, sent them the picture, and basically their summary from just the picture from ChatGPT was what they were telling me.
Oh, it's crazy. I've heard people sending their dental x-rays to ChatGPT and asking if they should get the root canal or the filling or whatever is being recommended, and it basically saying, yeah, crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
I used to just rewrite emails.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy
We're
stuff.
way behind. We got to up our prompt game.
Swear.
Well, next thing you know, next time we talk, maybe you guys will be prompt engineers.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Probably. Well, we have experimented with it, giving it our own drawings and just asking questions about it just to see what it could pick out. And I gave it this is this was back in ChatGPT 3, I think. I just said the drawings in the PDF. I actually copied all of the text from all of the PDFs of my drawings and then pasted it and said, tell me about this drawing. And it was it looks like this is mechanical engineering drawings for a church and this and that. I'm like, well, okay. Oh, sweet. I guess take my job, you can have my license.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's just the integration and the scale of being able to evaluate things quicker and specifications for requirement. Maybe some lending, VHDA loan is a type in our area, Virginia Housing Development Authority, and it's a 40-year note, and these great terms, but they come with a lot of strings attached.
Yeah.
And so we as engineers have to make sure the strings get attached,
right,
or we get in trouble.
Yeah.
So, what I've found is there's a lot of strings in these other places. Engineer might go straight to mechanical and read it, those are my specs. But on page 2, maybe some random thing about mechanical is there that you would easily skip.
Right.
But it's just out of place, not structured. And so give it the requirements, ask it to summarize. Mechanical, keep asking it questions and making sure you're not missing. That's how we've used it.
No, and I think it's very similar on the real estate side. Right now, probably the most predominant use case is for marketing, offering memorandums, kind of putting the packet together. But I think very quickly it'll be utilized for due diligence, underwriting assessment, risk assessment, insurance assessment, all these things that right now are super manual in nature. And or it could be utilized as a second opinion. So you get a report back from the insurer that says your rates are going to be this because we see a higher instance of hail or hurricane damage or whatever. Put that into ChatGPT and let it tell you what it thinks the real risk is, and just give a more objective approach to kind of how you could potentially argue against that, try to get a better rate, et cetera, et cetera. Try to kind of a non-traditional use today, but I think will be very front and center over the next 4 to 5 years.
I agree. I like asking it to poke holes in my arguments. Yeah. Here, an email I think is good, or an engineering idea. Tell me what's wrong with it. Give me counter arguments and help me work through those. And it does a good job.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's completely it's not personal.
Yeah.
So it's
it doesn't care.
It's right. If you go to a coworker or whatever and you say, hey, poke some holes in this, it's hard not to be attached to your work because you're talking to someone that's a contemporary with you. But in this instance, ask it to do whatever, you don't take offense to it.
Yeah, I was
doing calls my work, but please be nice to me.
Yeah, Carter, earlier I was trying to figure out how to do the permits logo here, and I was like, Carter, what do you think of this? He's like, it's nice, but what if you try?
It's like your classic consulting, yeah.
Didn't tell me
you do good, but you could be better.
Yeah, it's an objective colleague to help destroy your ideas. It's good. So this is an interesting thing. The reason we're here as engineers, kind of out of place, because what are engineers doing here is, like I said, learning about finances, I think makes us better engineers. We'd be able to do better engineering. So this large language model custom GPTs are what we were talking about earlier. So all of this data you're aggregating about potential loans and things, or even just the underwriting for a single deal. Like what if there was this project level large language model that understood how the deal was structured in the first place, maybe any strings that were attached for the MEP requirements, and then all through construction, or the design phase, understanding what drawings were released, what decisions were made, and then the construction phase, the RFIs that were asked and things like that, just to make sure, like, are we going off track of any intent all the way back at the lending level? Yeah. Like how, because that can happen really easily, and it's a big problem for people. And then it's who's getting sued.
Right. I mean, and these are high stakes games. I mean, commercial real estate is a large risk business. I mean, large capital, large pools of investors, a lot of different stakeholders. Everyone wants to get their piece of the pie. But unfortunately, a lot of things have to go right for them to actually play out the way that you want them to. And the construction space, especially on the construction lending side, it's very fragmented because you have so many different parties that are having to play some role in the transaction. So whether it's permitting, planning, zoning, whether it's construction draws, whether it's being able to document completion percentage and when things are getting done, you have weather implications, you have all these things. Like, you could almost suggest at some point that like a LLM could look at all those different factors and actually give you some sort of probability of success relative to the project at the beginning.
Man, insurance would love that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh, man, I could calculate the risk.
Yeah. Because, like right now, all these things are kind of bespoke. Like the lender looks at the stuff that the lender is looking at. The engineering teams look at the stuff the engineers need to know. Obviously, they get stitched together, but it's not done in a comprehensive fashion. It's very siloed and then kind of brought back together. You have the operators that are looking at market conditions and occupancy trends and cap rate trends and all this stuff. If you could do some of that more comprehensively, I think you would have better outcomes.
Air
Absolutely.
horn.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
That deserves an air horn.
So are you creating your own custom models, I guess, in-house with your own like AI developers?
So we have like some traditional data science driven models that we do. So we have a side of our business that works in the lender space. And so they have reporting requirements for loss reserves and other things. And so we have models that go in and look at probability of default, loss given default, expected loss calculations. But obviously this new era of models is looking at more unstructured data and trying to create better comp analysis or better underwriting trends. I mean, at this point, we're still early in that process. We're really looking at creative narrative text around market transactions, market trends. So you select a property type in a market, and our LLM can basically generate an output in a narrative form that says, here's what vacancy looks like. Here's what it looks like compared to historical norms. Here's how it compares to the top 25 MSAs. Here's what we've seen with rent growth, like those types of things. So very impactful, but still at a high level. I think, very quickly we're going to be iterating on that to try to get to a much more granular perspective.
You could just feed it your own podcast.
Well, so that's an interesting construct. I mean, I think one of the takeaways for us here is how much value is contained in our podcast and the transcripts and everything else. Like right now we're doing that episode by episode, but the reality is we could do some sentiment analysis over the time period, and we can kind of tie that back to some of the data. I just tweeted something out about how this event has been really impactful. We're going to be going home with a lot more tools in our tool belt.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced, like, there's so much stuff on the LLM side and the AI front that we just didn't even think about using in our business, that I definitely will be considering how we can integrate those things after this conference.
Yeah, same.
It feels a lot like mathematics. Like, it's always been there. You just got to see it, It's like calculus has always been there to be discovered. It's like applications and large language models are here now that just right in front of us. You just got to see it. You got to come to an event like this, or even just this conversation, thinking about all the data that you guys are putting out and how cool that would be to connect to the construction side. Like an advisor on our drawings to connect it all the way back to something that an engineer, quite frankly, just never part of those conversations.
Yeah.
But MEP guys are just putting air handlers and pissing everybody off because it's like 3 times more expensive than they thought or whatever. But the idea of schedule, timeline, what if, okay, let's say you have a specific timeline of performance, you have a bridge loan. I don't know how this all works. You got something structured on the debt side, right? And it's got to work in a certain timeline, but I've specified something that's known to have long lead times.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, it's great, it could work, but this is going to generate an issue and trigger that from the lending side all the way through.
Yeah, we're actually seeing that right now on existing mortgages where, you have a property that's coming up on maturity in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Their current interest rate is 3.5%, and the prevailing market interest rate is 6.5%. And if it's an office property, when they took the loan out, they had 95% occupancy, and now they have 65% occupancy. Like, what's going to happen. They're not going to be able to refinance. But right now, there's nothing that's really indicative other than them getting placed on a watch list and the lender making some comments saying, we think this is going to be a challenge. There should be something where you could proactively say, based on this set of criteria and where the property sits today relative to where it was at origination, here are the steps we need to take proactively to try to get the best outcome. Right now, it's all human intervention and it's completely bespoke and it's not ideal. But the reality is, I think ingesting some historical data to create some predictive stuff would be really, really impactful. I mean, we've had several in our podcast. We get multiple emails every week after every episode, which we love. But it's amazing in that correspondence how many people say they're an intern at a company and someone's asked them to basically transcribe our podcast or pull the nuggets out for them to be able to use in their internal meetings or their talk track or whatever. Being able to do that at scale would be really, really impactful.
Here's another interesting one. Do you know Casey Miracle and Jason Dillard? I ask everybody this because these guys are nuts.
Yeah,
I love listening to them.
I know Casey. I don't know
Jason.
Jason, yeah.
He's just a legend. So he does the equity marketing meetings, and my friend Mr. Elgroves, drove me out to the Raleigh one. He's like, coming with me. I'm like, all right, let's see what this is. He, by the way, made me put a piece of real estate I own up. He's like, oh, he has one. Maybe stand in front of these 50 people that know what they're talking about. And I'm like, oh gosh. Anyway, so the way Jason goes through these, he asks these questions, just so great, asking leading questions. He kind of knows where he wants to take the person and show them through the series of questions that he asks. I'm thinking, man, they should. And he's also a radio show guy. He's got this radio voice, and he's just like, you can listen to Jason Dillard. And he thought it was like walkable debt and all this, and just fun to listen to, entertaining. The whole thing is just absolutely amazing. If all of his equity marketing meetings were recorded and transcribed, you could build your own Jason Dillard advisor. Like, because how would he put the deal together? What would Jason do with this deal? I got 5 pieces of real estate with these problems. What would Jason Dillard do? Ask the questions he would. Because part of what he's so good at is the consulting of getting people to that. It's challenging when it's that much of a creative deal, like equity trades, park at 1031, walking debt, all these crazy things those guys do. And so I was like, that'd be cool.
Yeah, because right now they're limited to just the number of meetings they can have in a day, in a week, in a month.
Yeah.
This could effectively be an infinite, scalable solution where the end user gets the same type of insight all electronically, real time. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, so I told him I'm going to someday find time to go download all of their episodes and create a Jason Dillard large language model for Twitter.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
There it is. But yeah, I've listened to the episodes. I think it was your episode you were talking about. You have all of this data available, but it's still difficult to do use it the right way. I forget.
Well, I think we have 30 plus years worth of super granular asset level type of income and expense data, which you just can't get anywhere else. We have the largest repository of owner submitted income and expense financials in the industry. The reality is that outside of us, it's very difficult to get your hands on that. So the market is making decisions without relevant data, in my opinion, in a lot of cases. Like, obviously they have whatever data they have in-house, and sure, there's value with that, but they're just not scale in most cases. Marrying up our data, and we have some really user-friendly, intuitive products that make it very easy for people to leverage our insights. What I want to do is build products that are practitioner-focused, where it effectively allows people to do more deals, make better decisions faster, create efficiencies, et cetera, et cetera. That's just where we're at. It's 2024. Like, we should have a setup where people are able to get access to the relevant data they need to make better decisions, and we'd love to be part of that.
So who's the subscribe? Is it like a subscription model of some sort?
Yeah, so we have like a couple different tools. Our primary CRE tool is a product called Trepp CRE.
Okay.
And it's sold on a license basis. So depending on the size of your firm or the AUM that you manage, We price out, and you get access to the data for however many number of team members you need. And then it's on an annual basis. Usually we try to do multi-year agreements.
Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Multi-year. That makes me nervous with licensing for a whole year, especially for things that need like everybody needs. Because I'm like, oh dang it. In 2023, 2/3 of our engineers left because I told them they were bad at being engineers, and so we didn't rehire. We're doing working less hours, doing more money, and all this. But they weren't happy with it. But I got stuck with a whole 2/3 of licenses I still had to pay for. It sucked. But it is what it is. Also, the whole time value money thing. If I can pay for it a whole year right now, it's kind of like, oh dang it.
Yeah, we can set up some billing options so you don't have to necessarily incur the initial cost all at once.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
The challenge for us is that the data is very valuable, and
Yeah. Absolutely.
we have to protect ourselves from people not getting into the tool, getting everything they need for a year on just one quarter, and then deciding they don't want to move forward. And so we have to protect ourselves. I would suggest even a 12-month contract for us is too short, just because the real value for the data is there. I mean, and it's actionable data that they just can't get a lot of other places.
And I guess once you start adding some of these cool LLM features, then it gives you more of like a need to keep.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like, listen, the data by itself is super valuable, but we need to make sure that we're adding additional value for the firm. And we do that by adding these additional analytics, more sophisticated data, more finite outputs that serves their specific use case. So we want to work, explicitly with tenant reps and landlord reps and lenders and appraisers, all in a slightly different way, so they can maximize the ROI for their investment. And so it's intentional on our part to bring in people from the industry so that we can develop products from a practitioner's mindset. It's one thing to have data, and it's one thing to have cool AI capabilities or to have cool just traditional tech stack capabilities. But if it doesn't resonate with people that are actually going to use it, that's a challenge. And so for us, I want to be more than just a subscription-based login type of platform.
Yeah.
I want to be an indispensable part of their day-to-day workflow. And that's why we do the podcast. That's why I put out all the other content that we do, because we really want to, people think about commercial real estate, we want them to think about Trepp.
Yeah. Yeah. I now do all the time. Yeah, those 2 episodes got me hooked. I was like, I want to see one of these reports, see what they look like. This is cool. And we were just talking LLMs, and I really appreciate you hopping in because I did want to ask you about it, and you're totally up my alley of like nerdy, cool questions.
I could nerd out on this stuff like all day. I mean, like, you don't work at a data company and have a data podcast and not be like a data nerd, So it's like, I try to keep some street cred, like by wearing some like cool Jordans and a flat bill baseball cap. But like when it comes down to it, I'm just a data nerd.
Oh shit. It looks like they're about to come in here so we can wrap up. We do got to get the official music to wrap up.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
TreppWire, the legend Lonnie _CRE.
Yeah, Lonnie _CRE.
Check him out. This is awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I
thanks.
learned a lot.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, man. We'll see you around.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Cheers.